Here. All right, and good Tuesday morning. I was just checking to make sure that we are live here, and we are tracking some strong to severe storms this morning. We wanted to let you know about. We're here all night. We're here currently talking about these storms that are currently to our west. We have kind of an active and busy next, let's say, 48 hours ahead. This is going to be the start of it. Right now in northwest Arkansas, you can see Washington and Madison counties. There's going to be a couple of showers, hit or miss across the area. No lightning with it, but don't be surprised if you woke up and you heard some rain across the area. No, there's not severe storms in northwest Arkansas yet, but this is what we're watching as it's making its way closer to Sequoyah County, and this is also going to be making its way closer to Adair County. So we're on with you early this morning. I know that this clips just a portion of Sequoyah County, but we just wanted to give some of our neighbors down there a quick heads up that, yes, we have this hailstorm moving into the area. And the reason that we're so concerned with this one is this is a long-lived supercell. Now, when I mention supercell, it doesn't always mean tornado. So I just want to ease some fears there. You can have different types of supercells. Supercells by themselves are just lone storms that have a powerful updraft and can last for long periods of time, compared to a line of storms where it can get a little sloppy at times or be only one risk. Supercells can pose a risk for all hazards. So, of course, we're all familiar with tornadoes with supercells, but this one in particular is a large hail producer. It has had a history of producing close to near baseball-sized hail in OKC. And just to show you, it may sound unbelievable, but this is one of those intense, long-tracked supercells. And this one actually originated, I'm going to put this back in time. This one originally formed near Altus, Oklahoma, and it has been producing large damaging hail ever since. So this one has been pretty much ongoing since southwest Oklahoma, made its way through the OKC metro with some large damaging hail, and now it's knocking on our doorstep. Fortunately, right now, the hail is not at the same levels it was in OKC, but regardless, we're going to be watching this one very carefully because it is by itself. Yeah, and really, there's not a whole lot that is going to suppress this in terms of other storms nearby. So really, there's a chance that this will begin to weaken. It's weakened just a little bit over the last couple of scans, but overall, this is going to be a major hail potential. We're talking $50, maybe ping pong ball sized at times. Previously, this was producing close to tennis ball near OKC, maybe even just a little west of our area near Okmulgee and some areas further way west of our county coverage area. But again, this one is just barely into portions of Sequoyah County, and we just wanted to give some of those little communities well on the far western sides of our county coverage area kind of just a heads up, just to let you know, like, hey, it's early Tuesday morning. I'm sure if you're in these areas, your phone went off and you're probably wondering, well, what's going on? Well, we have this one pesky storm, and it's going to be capable of producing that large damaging hail. So we're here all night. We're going to be tracking these things. Even if it's just one storm, we're going to be here with you. We're not on TV right now just because this is, it's not anything significant quite yet. It is a damaging hail potential, but we're not talking tennis balls or anything like that. So if you're tuning in this morning, this is going to be one of those things where the next couple of hours, this is going to be a one storm issue where not everyone's going to see impacts from this, but some communities such as Paradise Hill and Redbird Smith, some of these communities that are in the path, Highway Oklahoma 10A, Highway 100, some of these little communities down here, they're going to be dealing with some hail here pretty shortly from this one intense supercell. And I mean, earlier, this was textbook in appearance. So long-lived supercell from southwest Oklahoma. It's trailed hundreds of miles. So right now, no signs of it completely weakening. I do think that $50 sized hail will be a potential with this. The other thing that we're considering too is it's a little bit warmer. At times, this has shown big hail, and the reports have been a lot smaller. But this has also had reports of up to tennis ball size hail with it at times well to the west of the area. So it wouldn't surprise me if we continue to see some large hail potential with this. It's moving to the east at 55 miles an hour. So it's just barely clipping Sequoia County right now, but eventually down the line, if it holds its act together, it'll make its way into Adair County. And if I move this over to if I move this over just a little bit, if it does hold together, it'll make its way into Adair County, Washington County, maybe even portions of Crawford County. So no warnings for these areas yet, not to overhype that. But the thing that we're watching is this has already trailed all the way back since southwest Oklahoma. We may have a hail risk potentially knocking on our doorsteps here momentarily. Probably within the next hour or so for portions of Adair, Washington, Crawford County, and north central portions of Sequoia County. So this is just the thing that we're going to be watching. Again, just to ease some fears, we're not necessarily talking tornado. My biggest concern with this is A, large damaging hail because it has had a history of producing it, but also notice that is a lot of rainfall falling with that. So some of these localized communities could see, or some of these local communities could see some flooding potential with that there. Let's see here. Let's go to the hail core tracker, and the worst of it is just to the south of Muskogee. So this is just barely outside of the county coverage area. We're just live because this is clipping a portion of our coverage area this morning, and right around the medium levels there. Now, back earlier when it was well west of the area, we were starting to see some of those light pinks. So this was a pretty nasty storm, and just to show you kind of the trail of how far this has come, we'll put this back into motion. I'm going to pause that real quick and go to the last 5 hours. And I'm going to show you just how long this track has been going. So again, this is the same supercell that we're talking about moving into our area. So this is why we're concerned for that large damaging hail potential. Is notice all the way back here towards Altus, Oklahoma. That was where it started. It tracked through central Oklahoma, and now it's eventually headed into our area. So this is a long-lived supercell. It's a little bit of a nuisance. So we're here. We're tracking it. Again, if you're just now tuning in with us this morning, glad you're here. And we're going to be here tracking it all night. We're here for you if any of these storms begin to kind of act up. And it looks like we have an update from the Weather Service. I'm going to go ahead and put that other product on here just to see. And they're keeping it still around the same 60-mile-per-hour winds, half-dollar size hail with that. So I agree with what the Weather Service is seeing there. But right now, the worst of it is in Muskogee, if I had to guess. And then eventually down the line, evening shade. Go ahead. You still have a couple minutes. Bring that car in if you have a garage just to get it away from the hail. Let's go ahead and put a track on this here real quick. And did they say 55 with that? So we are going to go ahead and check. Okay, so this slowed down just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little track. Just had to check and make sure the storm motion, just to get an accurate timing. I'm going to do a little supercell track here from the worst of the storm, and we'll do a little bit east-northeast. And include some of these counties here. So eventually down the line, if it were going to make its way into Washington and Crawford County, some of those areas would be closer to right around 3 in the morning, 250, if you will. So Bragg's 153, 10 Killer at 219, Stillwell at 236. We don't technically cover some of these other communities that are north of Sequoia County, but if you're watching your friends and family in those areas, just let them know. But Stillwell, again, that's going to be at 236, Lincoln 254, Prairie Grove at 302. So right now, we're not talking any sort of significant severe weather potential at the moment. But one of my concerns is this thing has been kind of recycling all evening. Surely the environment that it's making its way into has a little bit of capping. We've been dealing with that throughout the afternoon and evening here. So there's a chance that this may start to weaken, but also there's a pretty good chance that it doesn't. This is a established, long-lived supercell, and we're on with you this morning just because if this were to hold together, make its way into our county coverage area even further, then we have a large damaging hail potential. And we're just giving you the earliest heads up because, you know, none of us want to deal with hail damage. You know, we all love our cars. We all love our homes. We all love items that are outdoors that are special to us. Just make sure that if you are in this little cone here and you're not in a warning, you're watching this. You know, make sure that if you have some time, especially in Stillwell, some of these other communities along the line that are out ahead of this warning, just go ahead and bring that car in. Even if this were to weaken some, we're still talking quarter-sized hail with it, and that can still cause some issues. It's not significant damage to a car, so it's not going to fully blow out a window, but we are going to be talking about maybe some hail damage still in the form of quarters if it were to weaken and still move into these areas. So this is just the earliest heads up. Go ahead and get the car in the garage ahead of time, and then still watching eventually down the line further into Washington and Crawford counties. But again, this is going to be kind of a waiting game where we're going to have to watch and see how long does this go. Time right now is 1:46, and again, if you're tuning in this morning, thank you for tuning in. Glad you're here with us here this morning. Not to cause any sort of alarm or anything. We're not on for any sort of tornado warning or anything like that, so I want to reduce any sort of fears that we have there. The only thing we're dealing with right now is a large damaging hail potential with this one, and I mean annoying supercell, because this has been creating all sorts of issues since well southwest Oklahoma. We're talking Altus, and that's pretty much, that's one of the closest cities to the Texas border, right where it starts to meet the panhandle. So just to show you how long that's been going, it's been producing hail since then, and it's starting to move its way into Arkansas and within the next half hour or so. So as you can see, this is a long-lived supercell, so that's why we're here with you this morning. Is we want to give you an early heads up. We know, it's not fun to be surprised by hail. So if you just so happen to be waking up, if you are in portions of Sequoyah County and you were alerted to that warning this morning, we're just bringing you that attention. And we'll zoom in here just real quick. And I want to say, hopefully optimistic, that this is looking a little bit smaller. It's not looking as mean as it was earlier, so that's some good news there. Hopefully that continues, but my worry with this is recycled so many times that we need to watch that it could start to ramp back up and then lead to damaging hail potential. So the warning right now is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and $half sized hail. Wouldn't surprise me if this is going to be kind of a mix of where you get handfuls of nickel-sized hail, quarters, and a couple of $half mixed in, especially if it's starting to recycle. Let's go ahead and take a look at those winds real quick here just to show you what's going on. And just outside of our coverage area, near Bragg's on Highway 10, notice it's a little bit brighter here. But overall, this is not intense. So if you were watching some of our coverage from the other day when we had that 70-mile-per-hour wind event in portions of the river valley, notice this is not into those bright pinks that we saw with that storm the other day. This is, if I were to guess, that'd probably be in the 25-mile-per-hour range. And I'm going to go ahead and see if that is correct. Right around 25 miles an hour. So again, this is not very impressive. We are looking a ways from the radar, but take it with a grain of salt. This may be translating to the ground at around 40 to 50 miles an hour. Can't rule out a gust of 60, so it's going to be a loud storm regardless. But overall, this one right now, and hopefully it stays this way, looks to be more on the bare minimum warning sign, except for the hail. Let's see here real quick. And just kind of a little housekeeping too. So we have this computer set up and everything over here. We can launch the stream, but we can't interact with comments. So we can't look at the comments on YouTube. We can't look at the comments on Facebook. It doesn't have that ability, so I'm not able to see your comments if you're asking any sort of questions. Just kind of across the board, the only thing we have going on right now is this, and it's clipping portions of Sequoyah County. I want to go to our DMA here real quick, and that's our market. So when I refer to DMA, that's the counties that our satellite is mostly active in. So we're talking about that. notice northwest Arkansas, there's just a couple of showers. It's not too bad. We're talking just a nice shower, so it's peaceful rest. Further to the west in Sequoyah County, that's where things are going to start to pick up. That's going to be a little bit more of a nuisance and a little bit louder once it makes its way into the area. We're watching this because that warning clips portions of our area, but notice down the line, if it were to sustain its strength, it would eventually make its way into Adair, portions of Washington and Crawford County. It's not a guarantee it's going to make it there, but we're here with you this morning because we've been here all night. We have a warning now. We want to, keep you informed on what we could expect here in just a little bit. And then additionally, within the next couple of hours, there could be more storms that form closer to the Oklahoma-Kansas border. And then when those fire up, they're going to make their way into the early morning, maybe even mid-morning hours for, Tuesday morning at this point, or at least later this morning. So right now, time is 1:50. This is the only severe storm that we have for the area. And some of the good news is, too, that maybe the worst of it may go north of there and stay out of our area. But eventually that would make its way into Adair County, portions of Washington County. So that's what we've got there. If you're asking for your local city, your town, or your neighborhood, the answer is we have a pretty across-the-board severe weather risk for later today and into Wednesday. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on here real quick and show you what we're talking about. So today there is a 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms. And this is going to be, we have this storm moving in now. And we also have additional activity later in the morning. There may be a little bit of a break and then more activity that arrives by the afternoon and evening. Across the board, large hail, damaging winds, maybe even a low but not tornado risk will be possible. The other main concern I have is with multiple rounds of heavy rainfall, some of this may lead to a localized flooding potential. And, over the last several weeks, we've had several heavy rainfall events. There's still quite a bit of damp soil across the area that hasn't been able to dry up or absorb. And, with the soil being so damp, additional rainfall, it's going to go over some of those areas, especially flood-prone areas, and then it may sit around for a while longer. So, again, flash flooding is going to be a concern, as well as severe weather. And then as we head into Wednesday, this is the latest update, just from a little bit ago from the Storm Prediction Center. We had a slight risk that was mostly in the River Valley, but they expanded that slight risk for Wednesday, and it does include pretty much all the area. Same thing, again, large damaging hail, damaging winds, maybe a low but not zero tornado risk. And then flash flooding will also be a concern. So pretty across the board, kind of blanketed risk across both this afternoon, not tomorrow. We're already into Tuesday. So for today and into Wednesday. So that's a look at what we've got there. Just to show you, we don't have any sort of watches or anything like that. In terms of severe weather, we do have a flash flood or a flood watch, in effect until Thursday morning, and it does include all of northwest Arkansas and a portion of the River Valley. It doesn't fully include Logan, Johnson, and Scott counties. So that's a look at what we've got there. Let's go ahead and go back to the radar here. And again, this is the storm that we are watching. The warning does clip portions of Sequoyah. And something else that we're watching too, not necessarily for a severe threat, but notice there's these little pockets here starting to go up across portions of the area, these light showers. So if you're in some counties like Madison, Benton, and Washington County, you're probably getting a nice shower this morning. That's one of those little rain showers that it's peaceful to sleep to. Further to the west, though, that's when we're starting to get this behemoth of a supercell. Fortunately, it looks like it's starting to weaken, so hopefully that maintains that trend. We would like this to not produce some damaging hail. If we could avoid the hail, that would just be fantastic. The communities that are included in this warning. Here's a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and take that off so it's not. It's really just three towns, but just want to be on with you this morning just because these are our neighbors, these are our friends, and in far northwestern Sequoyah County. So Redbird, Smith, Paradise Hill areas, 10A, 10 Highway, is that believe that's 100. You know, we just want to give you the earliest heads up. Probably bring that car in just to be completely safe. The worst of it may end up going just north of you, so that would be absolutely fantastic. But again, we're just watching this because eventually, if it were to re-ramp back up, it would make its way into Adair, maybe even Washington County. So again, it's this one lone supercell that forms all the way back into extreme far southwestern Oklahoma. And then that's the one that we're going to be watching here very closely. Over the last couple scans, I was literally about to say it looked like it was weakening. So that's some good news there. It looks like that one has lowered before below severe limits. And if you were watching earlier, mentioned that, you know, this was in an environment where as it started to make its way further to the east, we're a little bit more capped, so there was a chance that this was going to start to weaken. There's also a chance that it was so established it was going to be able to barrel right through that. For now, this is weakened, and even just structurally, if I go back just a little bit, I go back to the last 3 hours and show you what this looked like. I actually want to go back to Tulsa's radar. And when this was near Henrietta, this is what we call a classic Screaming Eagle supercell. You can see there's the wings of the eagle. You can even see kind of the talons there. So this is typical for your more intense hail-producing storms. And notice how impressive that was. And then as we make our way into what it looks like right now, it's just kind of a jumbled up mess. So that's the good news there. I do think that there still could be some penny, maybe nickel-sized hail mixed in with that. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that hail track. And it's still very small, but it's still there. So right here, just outside of our area, wouldn't surprise me with some pennies and some nickels. The other thing too, just to kind of give you a broad view of the winds. Again, if I were to guess, that's probably around 23 miles an hour, 28. Okay. So it's a little bit stronger. So still 30-mile-per-hour winds can't be rolled out with this as it makes its way further to the east. So some gusty winds. It's going to be a loud storm just because it has some lightning with it still. But the good news is it's starting to weaken, and we can go ahead and take a little break from that. But before I do that, just want to do a quick overview. If you're tuning in with us, this storm is weakened, so that's some good news there. Again, we were watching that because it could have done one of two things. A, it could have weakened as it made its way into the environment that's to the east, or it could have sustained its strength and made its way into portions of Adair and Washington County. The good news is we're below severe limits. We'll be watching it behind the scenes, and if this starts to pick back up, we'll let you know. But the good news is, area-wide, nothing severe in northwest Arkansas for this time being. You can see, we just got these little showers. It's a very peaceful night's rest for portions of northwest Arkansas with that light to moderate rainfall. I bet it sounds pretty nice out there. This one supercell starting to weaken. That's some good news. We're below severe limits. We'll be watching it, but right now it is, fortunately, no longer a major problem. I want to go to our in-house model real quick and kind of give you a view of what we could expect over the next several hours here. That's not working, or that's not the right one. There we go. Bear with me here. I'm going to see if I can get that model up and running. Here we go. So here's 130, and notice too, this particular model has not handled storm development very well today. That was one of the trickiest things that we had with the models, was that we kept running into some problems with exact storm modes. They each had a different output. There wasn't a whole lot of agreement with them there. But as I progress this, once we get to that 7 o'clock morning hour notice, to our north and west along the Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma border, all these storms that start to go up, they're eventually going to push their way further to the south and east towards our area. Right around mid to late morning, we could see some showers and storms in the area. Now, there is the potential that some of these could be strong to severe. Again, all hazards are on the table, but the highest risks are going to be that large damaging hail and the damaging wind potential. So we're watching that very closely. And then as that pushes off to the east, we may get a little bit of a break by early afternoon. Still can't rule out a couple stray showers, but notice as we head into the early evening, there's additional storms that we may need to watch for the potential for that hail, damaging wind, but also that's a lot of rainfall there. So flash flooding will also be potential. Now that we don't have that warning in effect, just wanted to come to you live and let you know, hey, we had that warning for a little bit. We're here tracking it with you. But since there's no warning anymore, we're just going to go ahead and probably end this stream here. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Of course, meteorologist Stephen Elmore, he's going to be covering the morning shows. So tune in this morning for the latest updates from him. He'll have you covered for the morning commute. We're watching these around the clock, and we'll let you know the very latest. So hopefully you have a good night. Keep that 5 News mobile app handy. Make sure you have your ringer on just for the morning commute. If any of these storms were to go severe, you'd be able to get those alerts right there on your phone. And any sort of updates that we have to share as well, streaming on 5 Plus if any alerts are, issued for the area. So download that app, keep it here with 5 News. We're here around the clock watching these as they move into the area over the next several hours. Today, tomorrow as well. Got a couple different risks that we're going to be highlighting. Full details on that. We have a web article that's up with some details on that as well. And then, like I said, meteorologist Stephen Elmore, he's going to be covering the morning shows with the full forecast details there as well. So I'm weather forecaster Joshua Weisel. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Hopefully we can stay clear of some of these storms and you can get some rest there. But make sure you have ways to receive alerts tonight and keep it here with 5.